Hey, good day, folks, and welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic Live. I am your host, Neil Johnson, and this, folks, this is something I was waiting for. This is something I was excited about because we have the FBI on the scene down there in Georgia executing a search warrant. And no, I'm not kidding. This is not fake news. Do me a favor, as more people are joining, please smash that like, chat in with where you're from. We got to get this stream out there. But, folks, while everybody's joining, I'll just mention really quickly. I tell you all the time about fake news. Fake news is the same ones that avoid everything about the election. But one of the biggest propaganda machines in this country is the Medicare industry. What seniors are told, what's actually true. They're often two very different things, folks. So that's why I'm proud to partner with Chapter. Chapter isn't big insurance or the government. They are independent, meaning that they compare all these Medicare plans from across the nation, and they can save people on an average $1,100 per year. People on my channel are saving $4,000, $3,000, $2,000, etc. You've seen the comments. Call 832-761-2660. Again, that's 832-761-2660 and get some savings on your Medicare plan. All right, let's get into it. I'm bringing on David Cross for this show because, David knows what's going on. I mean, you're down there in Georgia. Your wife is an election integrity widow, for Pete's sake. Come on, let's just be real about this.
And she's often forgotten, but yes, she is. She has done a fantastic job of supporting me and keeping me fed and keeping my spirits up, because there have been some times where things have just kind of gone sideways. But what's happened today is the FBI is on site. I just spoke with someone who's on the state election board, and I said, "What do you know?" And that person said, "I don't know anything yet. I'm headed down there right now." But that the news is coming out, and hopefully what's happening is we're going to finally see justice prevail. They're going down to a new facility that I believe was built in 2023, where the documents, the ballots, all the election materials are supposed to be there because there was a preservation order. I personally don't believe the ballots are there, but I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but we'll see. We're at the point right now where we don't know what's going to happen.
This is where it gets interesting, David, because this has long been the speculation. Do the ballots even exist anymore? Did they ever exist in the first place? Some people, but I think that fake ballots did exist. Okay, I'm going to say that. The question then is, what do these people do when the FBI is executing a search warrant? Folks, this is going on, right? I mean, it just took place down at the Fulton County election facility. And as David had alluded to, this is the new one. This is where they store ballots, correct? David, I mean, this is people. Oh, okay. Come on. My audience here, I just got to ask a question really quickly. Are you folks excited about this? Yes or no in the chat. I mean, are you excited? We're finally seeing a search warrant executed. And Garland Favorito had told me that the FBI had taken interest in this, that this was taking place. This all goes back to, now, just last week, folks, we learned in testimony, okay, at the elections board, that they knew. There are emails of them communicating. They knew that this was all screwed up, and they still went ahead with it. And then they still attempted to, I should say. Well, they did prosecute, really, I guess, Donald Trump, okay, and said that this is this big RICO conspiracy. And yet now, here we go again, folks. Get excited. Take a victory lap on this, because FBI executes a court-authorized action at Fulton County election facility. You go to the video here, and you can see, I'm going to kind of scroll this ahead. Here they are. They're going in the building, and it says, FBI seen raiding Fulton County Elections Office in Fairburn?
Yes.
Fairburn.
So this is about an hour ago.
This is what. Oh gosh. Oh, so here's the thing, David. I mean, if the ballots are gone, if they're not there, and there's been a preservation order by the courts, what happens next?
If the documents aren't there, I think somebody's going to jail. And I think they're going to have the book thrown at them, but I gotta be perfectly, honest with you. I haven't had a lot of inspiration from Pam Bondi. I mean, everybody knows that you can indict a ham sandwich, as my friend Brian Pritchard says. But he said she hasn't even indicted a ham sandwich so far. So hopefully this is going to be the start. to finding out exactly what happened, what's going on down there. I'm told that there's 700 boxes of materials down there. And they said, oh, it's going to cost like $450,000, for us to go through all that kind of thing. And so my understanding is Garland started, raising money to say, hey, if you're going to throw a ridiculous number at us, we're going to answer back and just come right back and go down there and get those documents, because we have to scan them. We have to look at those documents versus the digital archive that exists out there. I personally don't believe the digital archive would ever match. And what you were talking about before, Joe Rossi last week at the state election board,
yes.
the thing that he was blasting them on was, I went through and reconciled the hand count and found that there was a lot of missing ballots or a lot of missing records that were in there. Joe Rossi went in, he did it, and the governor has some of the staff people go through and they reconciled it. They've certified what Rossi found. They found out, and that's where it all started at.
Yes.
But what happens is we went through all that work, and they knew, those jerks knew on November 19th of 2020 that it didn't add up. And Gabriel Sterling and the Secretary of State going out there going, oh, it's the most accurate election in history.
Safe and secure, baby. Safe and secure.
And it was crap. It was all crap. It was all made up. And it is time for justice.
It is time for justice. I'm just so excited about this. This is maybe the most exciting piece of news I've had to deal with all week. I'm sitting here right now, David, making a video on Tim Walz with my daughter. Okay. And there's, folks, I hope you enjoy this video I made on, and making on Tim Walz, because I don't think I'm ever going to go through this much pain again. We have been on this all morning. There's so much material on Tim Walz, and there's so much fraud up here. But folks, the biggest fraud is stolen elections, because you can't fix fraud if you can't get the elections right. Okay, how are we ever going to see justice if we don't have free and fair elections? I know it's the freest, the fairest, the most wonderful elections of all time. And Gabriel Sterling and Brad Raffensperger have said, they have declared from on high. But folks, I mean, we saw last week, we saw the emails, and now they're getting ready. And so you guys have to remember, I'm gonna bring something else up here. This all stems, Trump officials sue Georgia County to force release of 2020 voting records. These records are under a preservation order that does include ballots, okay? This is being pursued by Trump's Justice Department. The Trump administration has filed a lawsuit against a Georgia county seeking access to 2020 voting records as Donald Trump continues to assert the presidential election was stolen from him. Now, Justice Department lawsuit asked the state to turn over all used and void ballots, stubs of all ballots, signature envelopes, and corresponding envelope digital files from the 2020 general election in Fulton County. The government accuses the county of violating the Civil Rights Act. The local official said that the ballots were sealed and could not be produced without a court order. Trump narrowly lost the state of Georgia, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but here's the thing. And then now today we're seeing this where we actually have, so these ballots can't be produced without a court order. And then I think the court actually did order for election materials to be, but then the state of Georgia then fought again and said, well, that can't include the ballots. I mean, it's just pure lunacy. Correct me if I'm wrong on any of this.
No, that's, I mean, we have been pushing so hard. And, when I started this, when you got involved in this, years ago, people called us lunatics. You're crazy. These things count. And you know what? Elon Musk himself, the wealthiest technologist in the world, has come out and said he would not use machines to count paper ballots. And for the record, for any of the naysayers out there is no civilized nation in the world that relies on counting ballots with machines. The only people that use machines are banana republics. And right now, Georgia is a banana republic.
Yes. And look at this on the brief. FBI agents were seen at Fulton County's elections operations site. Officials confirmed the action was court authorized. So this was court authorized. So the Justice Department under bond, I'm sorry, David, I watched a clip of Pam Bondi the other day, and I tried to stay neutral on Pam Bondi, but I was watching just laughing. We sent a strongly worded letter to Tim Walz.
Right.
And then they're like, well, is that actionable? And she's like, Well, we'll see. He better follow. Like she's scolding a child. I'm like, my gosh, where are the zippy cuffs, baby? Okay, so anyways, but investigators have not disclosed the focus of the activity, but honestly, we know what this is. We know what this is because of all the recent activity. Federal area agents carried out a law enforcement action at Fulton County, located in Fairburn. Multiple law enforcement vehicles and agents were seen at the county's election hub. Folks, smash that like for me, please. Chat in with where you're from. Get excited because I want this going out because this is the issue that seems to have died. Okay. Like currently we only have 1,550 on. If I'm doing a Somali fraud story, we've got 3,000 on. I'm telling you, folks, this is the bigger story. If you want to know why there's so much chaos in Minneapolis, if you want to see why they sow so much chaos in other places, is to distract you from this issue. And not that Somali fraud isn't an issue, not that all the lost dollars is not an issue, but folks, this is an extremely important issue that people are losing sight of. Do you all understand that? Yes or no in the chat? That I mean, people are losing sight of this. They're like, oh, well, Trump won in 24. Yeah, that can easily go away in 26. And look what happened in Virginia in the last election. And now look what's happening going forward in that state. Full communist freak out control, folks. Okay. That's what's going on. That's what we're going to have here. You need to understand these people are whacked. They want to prosecute every and any ICE agent. Okay. They want to prosecute everybody because Trump's plan will work. We will get our country back. Okay. But a photojournalist with Atlanta 5 observed agents outside the building as activity unfolded. Shortly after, FBI Atlanta confirmed agents were executing a court-authorized action at the facility address at Chambleton Fairburn Road. Okay. Authorities did not say what prompted the operation. We know because the issues have been going on in Georgia, and Garland and many people, have told me that the FBI is interested. They're working on what's going on in Georgia, and now we have a search warrant executed. This is huge, David. This is huge. Like, I'm serious. This is the best piece of news. So last week we see the emails. You finally see the emails. Rossi's finally able to present. 2 years later, isn't it like 2 years later? Do you remember, David, when you talked to me and told me that Rossi was going to be presenting and I was so excited and then I'm tuning in and then he doesn't even get to present? Yep. Wasn't that in 24 or was it 25? Yeah,
it was in 24 and it happened again in 2025 where the chairman was trying to limit the complainants, me and Joe Rossi and other people, from being able to address the state election board. But it wasn't until like late last year that the state election board, there was a meeting in December where I was there, but the chairman, Fervier, was not there. Dr. Janice Johnson was in control of the meeting. She called on me, and that's where we actually had a chance to address the board, make a statement. And then that's when you saw Ann Brumbaugh from Fulton County get up and go, he's right. We got nothing. We got nothing. And we don't want you to ask for us to bring you anything else. We want to move on to the next cases. So they just want to sweep that one under the rug and move on to the next.
Yeah. It's all very alarming. It's all actually quite wild what's gone on in Fulton County, Georgia, and not only Fulton. I mean, you had problems in other counties down there.
Oh, yeah, it's all over the state. So what people forget here is that Fulton County deleted all the ballot images from the original ballot images when people went to vote. They deleted all those. And that happened in a bunch of counties across the state. 1 million ballot images are missing. And nobody's been held accountable. Nobody's had to pay a fine. It's just a procedural error, and Fulton County keeps coming back and going, listen, we understand we didn't follow this procedure, call a foul on us or whatnot. But you know what, if you and I were watching a football game, and our team had like 13 personal fouls, in the third quarter, we'd probably be scratching our heads and going, I think there's maybe a problem. Maybe the coach needs to go. Maybe we need to cycle out some of the people on the team, take out a few players. It's time to do something.
Yeah. I'm just, this, when you texted me this, so I got this bit of news, folks, because David texted me. He's like, here's an it's just like I was deep into my Tim Walls video with my daughter, frustrated as all get out because we're trying to put so many clips in order. Folks, please watch that video when it comes out, for the love of all things holy. It's going to be hilarious. But that being said, as soon as you came with this, I'm like, I dumped everything, and this is like the story right now. I mean, we are seeing a search warrant executed in Fulton County, Georgia. And I'm curious with you where those ballots are, if they're still, I mean, they are under that protective order from the court that they have to hold those.
Right.
But the question is, are they there? And
yeah, so it's like that Seinfeld episode a long time ago when he says, "You took the reservation, but I don't know if you held the reservation." And the lady said, "We know how to take the reservation." He's like, "No, I don't think you know how."
That's right. Oh my gosh, it's nuts. Hey, folks, want to mention too, since we're talking about election integrity, and my good friend Mike is the great election integrity warrior. Go check out mypillow.com/lumberjack, 1-800-568-2865. He's faced great personal cost, obviously, in pursuing what he has pursued. I mean, he's been wiped out of all the big box stores. He has been debanked 3 times, I think it is now, and so on. So
Hey, listen, talking about the debanking thing, I love the fact that President Trump is suing J.P. Morgan and Jamie Dimon for $5 billion for debanking him. And when he wins that case, anybody that's out there that was debanked for any of those political reasons, I think there's going to be, some type of settlement in your future. At least I hope there is. And I'm just excited about seeing what's going on there too. But I'm going to be on, Mike's show today is being hosted by Heather Mullins. I'll be on with her, I think, in about 20 minutes or so. But we'll be talking about some more about this. Hopefully, we're going to get some more details. But it's breaking news, and it's exciting to see what's happening.
It's very exciting, folks. But yeah, go check out too. He's got the mattresses on sale, the mattress toppers, and free shipping with promo code Lumberjack, folks, because we get the best deals because you're one of his best audiences. So mypillow.com/lumberjack, or call 1-800-568-2865. Again, if you just jumped on the stream, go back and watch, because we've got exciting news here with a search warrant being executed in Fulton County, where the ballots are stored. This is big, big news, folks. Share it everywhere. And thanks so much for listening. David, thank you for coming on. Thank you for letting me know.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Everybody out there, support Mike. He's been a fighter. He's been tireless.
Yes, he has. So, all right. Thanks, folks. We'll see you on the next episode. Peace out.